Thanks for calling Computing Paradise. How may I help you?
Is Larry's butt stick emporium?
No, it's not. Alexa, turn on Computing Paradise.
Ain't you got no butt sticks?
No, we don't.
Okay.
We don't. Like I said, we're a computer shop. We don't do any of that kind of stuff. You call it Computing Paradise, not Larry's Butt Stick Emporium.
I'm just looking for a couple of butt sticks and a gibblefish.
Maybe you're just having difficulty in hearing me. We don't do any of that stuff here. We do computer repair. We do VHS to DVD conversion. We do classic retro gaming, and we're a Raspberry Pi and Odroid dealer. So maybe you're gonna have to call them back or something like that because you got the wrong number.
Your butt stinks.
No, my butt doesn't stink. I just washed it. Just got out of the shower about an hour ago. Your butt stinks.
It's me, Tommy. Your butt stinks.
Ah, your butt stinks. Why don't you go monkey his nose?
And tickle his pads.
Yeah, well, I got him right here, and I'm petting him forever. He's my best friend in the world, and he's also my boss. I'm the manager of Computing Paradise, and Beak Child here is the owner of Computing Paradise. So, yeah, I'm going to put you on speakerphone right now. All right, so, Tommy, what have you been doing? You been petting Beak in your heart, or have you been loving Mashuko?
Oh, you are Mashuko.
No, I'm not Mashuko. He's your lover, not mine.
You're Mashuko.
No, I'm not Mashuko. I'm the manager, the store manager of Computing Paradise here in Corydon, Indiana.
And your butt stinks.
No, my butt doesn't stink. Unlike me, I actually take hygiene seriously. How about you go monkey's nose?
And tickle his pads.
Yeah, I love him forever. So anyway, dude, so what I got planned, what I'm doing tonight, since it's after hours here at Computing Paradise, I haven't left yet. I've been working on stuff around the shop. I got to decorate some more for the holiday. Halloween is pretty soon. So anyway, I'm going to get on sending you out that package. You remember what we talked about?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the controller.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm going to get that all boxed up while I'm talking to you on the phone. That's going to be probably about the last thing I do before I head out here. I mean, I might do some gaming or something like that. I do got the Raspberry Pi, the Pi 3, running right now, running the 1989 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game in attract mode while it's waiting for me to put in some quarters, you know, hitting the button on the controller, you know, because the game still thinks it's running on the arcade board, you know.
Yeah, well, I sure do appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, monk his nose forever. I love him. Unlike you, you hate his beak.
Well, you're going to have to talk to DHD about that.
Yeah, well, you know what? Your butt stinks in the meantime. So just deal with it.
Your butt stinks.
No, your butt stinks. I just told you about that. Yeah, your butt is horribly gross. No, your butt stinks.
You're a potty chair.
You know what? You love Mashuko and your butt stinks.
You're a potty chair and your butt stinks.
No, you hate Beak Child. You love Mashuko and your butt stinks.
You are Mashuko and you're a potty chair and your butt stinks.
No, I have Beak Child in my heart, unlike you. I love his nose forever.
You're barking up the wrong tree. Tell that to DHD.
You know what? I don't bark. I pet him forever in my heart because he's good boy, he's Magic Owl, and he's Blessed Beak.
And do you tickle his pads?
You know what? I got proof right here that I am. He's got powerful talons, and he knows not to use them on me. So go monkey his nose. Beak!
Beak?
Yeah, he don't say meow, unlike what you think.
Well, he can say beak all he wants.
He does, because he's in charge here. So anyway, I'm going to get this this started for you. So I got this controller here. I've had it for years, since, gosh, when did I buy this thing? 2005. I'm trying to find the probably no later than Nah, I think it's got to be earlier than 2007. So anyway, it's a PlayStation 2 style controller. I just don't use it anymore. I graduated up to the to another controller, the Steel series. These things are getting harder to find, but they're really good. I got several of them, and I got 4 of them still factory sealed here on my sales floor here at Computing Paradise, and I got 2 that are open and used, or that I use. And the model of this one, I'll look at it on the sales floor. Okay, so it's a Steel Series 3GC controller, USB Rumble PC controller. It's USB, not wireless. So, yep, and you love Mashuko.
You are Mashuko.
No, you love Mashuko in your heart every day.
You do.
You do, Voodoo X86. It's not me. You do.
You do, Voodoo X86. It's not me.
You hate Beak Shot. You love Mashuko, and your butt stinks.
You are Mashuko, and you're a potty chair, and your butt stinks.
No, your butt stinks. But anyway, we're not going to argue about how much your butt stinks and how much your butt is so stinky. It was a weapon used to kill millions of people during the 20th century. That's how nasty your butt is.
Oh, you're such a Christian.
Whatever, dude. You need to go monk his nose. So anyway, seriously. So, yeah, now the Logitech F310 is not a bad controller. I might buy another one, especially since a Steel series, that certain model that I just mentioned, might be discontinued. They're getting harder to find. Even Amazon's gonna get to the point in which they don't have them in stock. You know, all of them that have been produced and sent out to retailers are probably going to be all bought up. But anyway, so I got this controller here. It's got a retractable cable on it, as you'll see whenever you get it, and then like a button to bring it back in. It just needs cleaned up a little bit, like I was telling you about. So what I'm going to do is, hey Tommy, as I package this thing up for you, I'm going to leave you some surprises in there, because I'm that kind of person. So, yep. Oh yeah, dude. So, let's go in with the first surprise. Okay, so I'm going to put some, you hear that? That's trash. You're going to have trash going in there. Let me make sure and get the rest of it out of the trash can. So, I got the trash can here and get it around up here near the sales counter. So I'm getting out the trash in case you can't hear that because your butt stinks.
Your butt stinks.
Yeah, so anyway, so I'm going to put some trash in there. Let's see, I'm going to have a little bit of toilet paper, stuff I blew my nose on. And,
booger face.
yeah, well, you know what? You hate me.
You do, Voodoo X86.
No, you're the one that hates him.
Butt stinks.
So, okay, so I put some trash in there, and I put some junk mail in there, too. Just stuff I got out of the neighbor's mailbox,
Oh, yeah, I've been running out of toilet paper, so that'll come in handy.
Nah, I don't need to get in my neighbor's mailbox for junk mail. They send me plenty of it. So I'm going to put the controller in here, package that up, and lots more trash, okay? So, well, I don't got any foam peanuts. I mean, I threw those out like a year or two ago. Matter of fact, I haven't even got foam peanuts in a while. It's been those inflatable bags.
Oh yeah, I haven't had received any squinks, and well, actually, there were some squinks those dissolvable squinks that came when my Odroid come in.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned those. I think I got those last year, and you know what I did with them? Since they're made out of cornstarch or whatever it is, I flushed them down the toilet. But I let them dissolve first.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're all gone. I mean, I can get them out of the sewage, out of the sewage drainage, and I can put those in the box if you like. I'm sure you'll have plenty of time for them to dry out, while it's being shipped to your house.
You probably better put them in a second box and label it nuclear waste.
So you still want them though, even though they're toxic waste.
Yeah, I want you to label it and seal it up real good. Make sure you use a thermo sealer and package it in lead foil, and then stick that in a metal box and then label it nuclear waste so I can, so you can send it to my laboratory for study.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So you study things at your laboratory, right?
Yep.
Do you ever study yourself?
Have I? Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, the mystery of the ages.
I don't think I have.
Well, one of these days, when you get around to it, you can take on the task. But anyway, in the meantime, your butt stinks.
Your butt stinks.
You love Michiko. So anyway.
You are Michiko.
Now, what is your favorite place ever to shop?
Fat Mart.
Yeah. And what's the name everybody else knows Fat Mart for?
The best place to see the biggest butts. Fat Mart.
Walmart. So that's where you go cruising for big women. And
exactly.
Oh, okay, you're admitting to it. All right, I'm glad you have that kind of personal character. So anyway, so I'm gonna put you some of those in there to, I'm sending you a game controller for free in the mail, so it's part of the whole Happy Thoughts thing. Maybe you could play some classic arcade games on your computer and dream about the about your future girlfriend, and it's gonna be awesome.
Oh
yeah. Yep. So I'm just gonna pack this thing some more. I'm also putting other stuff in here like food packaging and wrappers and stuff. Some of them got barbecue sauce on there, and the other one's got mustard on there, so it's gonna make for like a really nasty smell whenever you open this thing up. Yeah.
Will it smell like your butt?
Dude, it's gonna definitely smell worse than your butt. Yeah, dude, because your butt stinks.
Your butt stinks.
Alright, so now I gotta find my packing tape. Yeah. So give me a moment to go in the office and check for my packing tape. I gotta find where I put it at, because your butt stinks. Yeah, so go ahead and entertain the viewers we got there on this YouTube channel. The Megapet Productions YouTube channel. Yeah, go ahead and entertain them, Tommy. Entertain.
Okay, well, right now it's 73 degrees. Looks like we're going to have cloudy skies tomorrow. And all day the next day, for the next 3 days, so get out and enjoy it. Not going to be any yucky sunshine to worry about. And right now I'm talking to you on an Asterisk PBX system. Have you considered a solution for your small office? Well, consider Asterisk for all your telephonic needs. And that was a sample of music on hold. So that's one of the many features that an Asterisk can do for you.
Excellent job, Tommy. Yeah, I think they learned a lot. Tell them more why I use this tape gun that I finally found.
The Asterisk PBX system is very useful for many things, and not just a small office, but larger offices as well. When used with the Asterisk 6735i telephone, you can gain a lot of access to a lot of the features that Asterisk offers. And not just music on hold. You have call transfer, conference calling, and so you have more than just three-way calling, you can have several people call in, and you can join them. You have up to 10 lines. You can access, I don't know if you can access all 10 of them at a time, but you have 4 line buttons, and then you have a couple more software keys, so you can program those to be another line, and so you can receive more calls. There's also call queuing, and this is important if you need to only talk to one customer at a time, or one person at a time, or whatever you're using your system for. And you can set it up to queue the callers, and so you can answer calls in the order they were received. And this is a feature only found, well, not only found, but found very prominently in asterisk phone systems.
Sounds awesome. Do you hate Beak or do you love him?
We love the Beak, unlike you.
Oh my God. Big words from somebody who loves Mashuko.
Well, being that you are Mashuko.
Nah. No, dude, I'm not the one that lives in the toilet like you, dude. You love Mashuko, you hate being shot and your butt stinks.
Oh, you are such a Christian.
Yeah.
Potatoes and poopy and beans full of turds.
Oh, yeah? Well, guess what, Tommy?
Oh, what's that?
Alexa, turn on the sales counter.
Okay.
You know, I got your package right here, right? You hear that? You know, I got your package right here.
Cool.
Yeah. Good thing I packed it really nice, because there it went. Suck his nose!
Your butt stinks.
Nah, I packed it good enough. I tossed it off the sales counter. You'll find out later when you watch the video. Oh, man. But anyway, yeah, it was nice talking to you. Got the couch up here, and it's going to be great. I hang around up here in the lobby whenever it's not business hours. And
cool. Well, you guys will get to know me as the voice on the phone in the credits.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So what else do you want to tell the audience about what you plan on doing with the show? Because I can tell them as well.
Well, basically I'm the voice on the phone, and I have many voices, as you will hear when the show progresses.
Yeah, have you ever thought about doing tutorial videos or skit videos yourself?
No, but I'd probably consider them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and also consider how much your butt stinks, too.
Your butt stinks?
No, dude, your butt stinks. Your butt's horribly nasty.
Your butt stinks!
No. I think you're more accurately talking about your butt, you know, because you can always... No, dude, your butt stinks. So, anyway...
Your butt stinks!
Now, what we're going to have on the show, we're going to have... it's going to be educational skit comedy. So, it's going to be... things such as, well, for example, we're going to have something here on Adventures in Customer Service, which is going to be the name of the educational skit comedy show. Megapet Productions. Megapet Productions is going to be the name of the organization that produces this. And here, as you might see up here, is the signage for Competing Paradise, which is the location that these episodes are based at. And so anyway, we're going to deal with crank calls. You know, we're going to deal with calls from customers who have like no manners. We're going to have customers come in the store. I'm going to make tutorials and guides and do product reviews, things like that. Some Let's Play games, things like that. I keep saying that phrase, things like that, so I need to stop doing that. It's a habit. So, yeah, we're going to have Let's Play sessions, we're also going to have a cautionary tale in the episodes, and it's going to be the Craigslist special. So, hey, did you take advantage of that Craigslist special, or did it take advantage of you? So it's, you're going to have these greedy, superficial, selfish, impulsive customers, and they're going to shop for the absolute lowest price. It's showing the capacity for superficiality. For example, I got an episode where a customer, comes in. They got a 1200 watt power supply from Craigslist for like $30 or something like that, or who knows. It's like a deal they couldn't pass up. But the seller didn't include a power cable. So, for anybody that knows this stuff, the power supply always pulls more power than what it actually puts out to the computer. So if it's putting out up to 1200 watts from the to the computer, if it's putting out up to 1200 watts to the computer, it's going to pull more than 1200 watts from the wall. It could pull 1400 if it's really efficient. From the wall, it might pull 1600 watts from the wall.
I wouldn't pull more than about 6 to 800 watts on a 120 volt circuit.
Yeah. So, anyway, well, really, you need a 14 gauge cable, which is rated, as long as it's 25 foot or shorter, rated for about 1875 watts. Okay, so that's really the cable you want to do. And anything 1000 watt or above, you definitely want that 14 gauge cable. 600 watt power supplies, you might be able to get by, you can probably get by with a 16 gauge, but it's best to always run a 14 gauge, since that's similar to the thickness and gauge of wire that's in your house.
I would definitely run 12 gauge if I were you.
Well, for house wiring, of course, but I don't think you find much 12 gauge power cords like for consumer stuff.
Oh.
So anyway, customer's gonna come in here wanting a power cable. Yeah, and I'm gonna offer a 14 gauge cable because I know the situation and I don't want the liability of this person having a problem. So the cable's gonna be around $10, maybe 11. Anywhere from $10 to $12 for a 14 gauge. It depends on the length that they want to get. If they want to get 6 foot or they want to get a 10 foot, something like that. So the customer thinks that that's highway robbery. $10 is more than what they're willing to pay. So they think I'm price gouging. Because, they can only see the world through their own eyes and their own feelings. And because they have an innate tendency to want to price gouge and go to Target and Walmart and other retailers and purchase the Super NES Classic Edition for $80 each, and then scalp them on eBay, Craigslist, Facebook, and other venues for at least $200, citing that, hey, it's got all your favorite games on there and it's hard to find. So that's why they're justifying charging more than 3 times the retail MSRP price for a product that just hit store shelves less than 8 hours before they're actually trying to sell it online. These scalpers trying to sell it. So they scalp it. They don't even let 12 hours go by before they try to scalp it for 3 and 4 times its MSRP price. Those are your troublemakers. So anyway, so this customer is going to think that I'm, stealing food out of their mouths, by asking $10 for a 14 gauge power cord for a computer. So what do? They are in search of the absolute lowest price because they think that everything's equal in terms of quality and function and things, and that if there's any difference in price, is going to be a reflection of greed levels of the person manufacturing the product or the person selling the product. So they go on Alibaba or something like that. They're searching for the absolute lowest price. They do find a power cord that has the right type of plug-in connector for about $1.75. Maybe $2, but it's clearly marked in Chinese that it is meant only for a little single board computer, maybe similar to a Raspberry Pi or something like that. Some little dedicated gaming console or little mini computer where a 24 gauge power cable is able to supply the needed amount of power very safely. You're only dealing with like 4 or 5, maybe 6 watts of power consumption. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like a smartphone system board that's just been repurposed. So, I mean, that 24 gauge cable will easily handle 8 or 10 watts. Well, the board's only going to pull like 5 or 6. So the power cable is very adequate. Well, this person sees the price, and that speaks to them in their deranged mind, and they think, yeah, they don't want to pay any more than what they should have to for a power cable. So they order this thing. Okay, yeah, it does fit. It does fit the power supply that they bought for their desktop computer. They plug it up. They're running their games. Call of Duty, the stereotypical, game that people play these days, or Dark Souls, or whatever. And then it starts to overheat. Well, they're also a slob. And they got a pile of dirty clothes just laying on the floor, piled up on this power cord. The same people that carelessly lay their laptop on their comforter of their bed, where it sinks in there and can't get rid of its heat. So anyway, this cord starts smoldering, and it does damage to their house. There's some smoke, some flames. Then they come back to Computing Paradise and they want to sue me for not selling them a 14 gauge power cable for $2. Yeah. Yeah, they try this stuff. This is my condemnation. I mean, this is the life I'm condemned to lead when I deal with the public like this. You know what I'm saying? When you got these agency dynamics where the customer wants to be privileged of not having be held accountable for their actions, or to be held less accountable, and they don't want to take responsibility for their actions, so then they put all that responsibility on the sales staff, the employees, the food service people, the waiter, the waitresses, they try to put all that pressure on them to rise to the occasion and to work out any trouble or problems. And
and so many people think I'm weird because I order business grade stuff. I saved up, and because I was getting tired of those little routers that Walmart sells, because they're pieces of poop.
Yeah, especially for that low price point that people are willing to pay, right?
Exactly, and I got sick of the whole thing, and so I saved up and I bought the parts for a router server. It's a 4-core, 3 gigahertz router with 8 gig of RAM and 2 network boards.
Tell them what it really is. It's a gaming computer, and the only reason why it would not be considered a complete gaming computer is because you put just a lower price graphics card in there, like a GeForce 610 or something in there, like GeForce GT 610, that's got like a half gig of RAM or something like that. because you run the thing headless and you don't even use the graphics card much. But it's an Intel Core i5 with 8 gigs of RAM, and that's your router. And tell them what else you built this thing out of.
Let's see. Well, I got the 24-point Cisco Linksys business grade switch.
Yeah, Ethernet switch with the power over Ethernet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what else you got? What do you do for Wi-Fi?
Well, of course I use the Cisco Linksys LabPack 2600 wireless access point.
Yeah, I looked on their website, and that's literally the best one that I've seen on their website that they sell.
And I have not had one hiccup.
So,
I have not had one bottleneck. I have not had any pausing. I have not had a crash. When I try to download massive, do massive downloads from YouTube, so I can watch my science documentaries, it didn't jam up or anything.
So Tommy, tell me about these $60, 8 DOCSIS channel residential gateways. They have the N300, just 2.4 gigahertz single band Wi-Fi on them, like the one I got on my sales counter right now. Tell me about those.
Well, I have no objection to using them actually as a business gateway.
Are you sure? With only 8 DOCSIS channels, they top out realistically at 100 meg of speed. I think I had one that I stopped using from a few years ago, and that the internet provider offered. And that 8 channels only gets you, like, I think 118 meg that it tops out at, and they don't deal with congestion all that well either. Whenever your neighbors are heavily using the internet, or local businesses are heavily using it. I mean, with only 8 DOCSIS channels, that's not a lot of signal channels that your internet provider can kind of migrate your modem's connection to in the event that they have a lot of saturation of heavy traffic and congestion on their system.
Yeah, I think that's another reason that I got a business account from my cable provider over here, because I haven't had a lot of slowdowns like I had when I tried.
I've seen your equipment too. I think that's that new unit they got that looks like the PlayStation 3 game console. It's like a knockoff of the PS3. And I think that's a 16 DOCSIS channel modem on there, so it's decent. I actually got a 16 channel DOCSIS that I use and that I sell here at Computing Paradise. But I tell you what, Tommy, for a Wi-Fi router, this Asus right here, this AC1900, probably would have been adequate for you with its 1.4 gigahertz dual core processor. And how much RAM was this model again? 256 meg of RAM, so that's a quarter gig. Yeah, I mean, this thing's pretty nice. I think it would have handled. I mean, how many devices do you actually do that use the internet?
Oh gosh, let's see. There's my Mac, my Linux machine, my Odroid. Well, the Odroid doesn't use the.
Still does traffic. Still does traffic on your network, though.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, on the internal network.
That's right. When you're communicating from one device to another within your own home.
Yeah, and that's all handled by the router and the switch.
Yeah, and then what other devices you got?
I got the PBX system, and then I got my phone, and then the neighbor guy who's on the Wi-Fi.
That's within what an AC1900 can do. Yeah, and so anyway, I'm going to set these two. But yeah, this El Cheapo is what a lot of people like to get. And it's not that the company's a bad company. It's just you got to understand what performance level you need. And always go a little bit future-proof, because you do not want to buy trust me, you do not want to have to be buying a Wi-Fi router every year or every few months just because you're outgrowing the cheap one that you bought.
Yeah, that's why I saved up and bought what I did, because this, especially the router, isn't going to obsolesce for quite a while. And the only thing I'm going to have to change on it is maybe the network boards. So, and they're both gigabit as it is now. And so they're up to date.
Well, they're current. I'll put it that way, yeah. So my setup that I run is I got a 16-channel DOCSIS modem, which easily handles my 200 meg speeds. Tested at a stable 235 megabits per second with occasional peaks of 238. And the Wi-Fi router that I currently use is going to be the Linksys EA9500, which is a part of the MaxStream series, and it's a AC5400, which is a networking beast. 3 Wi-Fi bands, 2 5 gigahertz and a single 2.4 gigahertz, half gig of RAM, 4 transceivers per frequency band, so you're talking about 12 transmitters, 12 receivers, because it's quad stream on its multi-user MIMO configuration, so it's a 4x4 config. It's got 8 of the gigabit Ethernet ports, half gig of RAM, and a 1.4 gigahertz dual core processor. This router has a capacity that exceeds what most homes even have in terms of how many devices. I mean, this router will handle more devices than what the average person even owns, at least for right now. I mean, last time I audited my stuff, I think it's like 22 devices I got. I mean, I got these Belkin Wemos here in the shop, and they don't pull a whole lot. I mean, all they are is just a remote operated relay. I got a tablet, I got the Odroid, I got the, the Raspberry Pi 3, I got the Hue Smart Lighting, but that's different though. The Hue Lighting is managed by its own bridge. I got smartphones, I got smart TV, Blu-ray players, I got my desktop computer, things like that. And this router, it's normally $400. Let's see how much I'm selling it for. It's been a while. Okay, about $399.50 is what I'm running it for right now. Here at Computing Paradise, but it goes on sale from time to time. But just remember that prices are subject to change according to customers' attitude, and yes, it is enforced by management. So hey, if you behave yourself, you might get a 2% or a 3% or even a 5% discount off your total purchase here at Computing Paradise for just being really, really polite and being a nice customer. I mean, if you're kind of average, then you just pay regular price. But if you're really rude, I mean, if you really test my patience, oh man, I'll jack your total bill up by 10%. I mean, if you're just so rude, if I don't kick you out of my shop, if I don't kick you out of my store and ban you, then prepare to pay an extra 10%. I mean, if you really put me in a nuclear rage, I might add on another 20% of your total. Because prices are subject to change according to customer behavior and customer attitude. So if you behave yourself, you don't get charged anymore. You pay the same amount as what's on the board for pricing. But hey, if you're like super nice and polite, you're easy to get along with, everything, very cooperative, then you can receive some discounts without even asking for them. So just be advised. Tommy, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, in fact, I'm the co-founder of the Nice Customer Club.
Yeah, tell the audience more about it.
Well, the Nice Customer Club participating stores for being a nice customer, even in spite of conflicts with store policies in other places. The nice customers are awarded points within the club that entitle you to discounts at certain participating stores.
Yes, and we also do that here at Computing Paradise. I'm glad you mentioned that. So yeah, we have like a punch card system that we do here at Computing Paradise. So you know, it's kind of like a customer rewards. You know, it's kind of like you know, come in the store, be cooperative, behave yourself, don't throw a fit, don't steal, don't cook meth in my bathroom. All this stuff, you know, and you know, you visit and you get a punch on your card, and you get so many quantity of punches on your card, and like Tommy said, you get some discounts, some incentives, some rewards, some things like that. You know, it could even be admission, like free admission to a special event or something like that. Since I host LAN parties and I also cater to LAN parties, so the more times you come in, you know, and the more you behave yourself, the more you can potentially save. And you know how I can afford to do these kind of discounts? I'll tell you what, I got so many rude people. Yeah, I'll tell you the secret. So many rude customers in society that I've had to enforce this policy with. I had to jack up the price to teach these people a lesson. Hey, you need to behave yourself. You need to learn. Prices are subject to change according to customers' attitude. And, you know, for every, you know, rude customer we got, hey, they get the price jacked up on them because they need to learn to behave themselves. Consider it an asshole tax. Yeah. So, you know, the $10 extra that I charge a rude customer, hey, I can afford to do you know, the 10% extra I jack up the price for some of these customers. I can afford to do, you know, percentage discount for a couple nice customers. You see how that works? And I still come out either breaking even or come ahead, you know, come out ahead of this thing.
Oh, yeah.
So see how that works? Yeah, the rude customers get to pay for the polite customers' discounts.
Yeah, and the club fees, part of the club fees are, you know, given to participating venues of the Nice Customer Club.
Oh, okay, yeah, so that's how. Yeah, but I think it's going to be a value to society to do this Nice Customer Club. Now, we also have cleanliness for the community. That's another thing we do here at Computing Paradise. You know, we got stink-ass customers coming in here stinking to high heaven, bringing the flies with them, don't even care. You know, maybe they didn't know that indoor plumbing was a thing, you know. I mean, it's people sometimes, I have to let them know that electricity's been discovered, you know, but yeah, I mean, you come...
And you gotta find a way of telling them that their butt stinks.
And that's how we do it right here with a bar of lava pumice soap to clean your stank ass up. So you come in my store, bringing the flies with you. You know, whether you buy anything or not, you'll leave here with a bar of soap. That's just, you know, something we do. Financed by donations and things like that. Oh yeah, we do toothbrushes, you know, cleanliness for the community, supplies toothbrushes, toothpaste, shampoo, all that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, it's going to be great. But anything you got to add, Tommy, before I end this this video tonight?
I just wanted to close out with, you know, when people say, you know, see my equipment, and they wonder why, you know, they go, well, why don't you just buy this at Walmart for $9.95? Well, because I don't like equipment failure, and equipment failure tends to make me pick it up and violently throw it through the window.
It costs extra money because, you go in a place and, they might have sales staff or something like that try to help you, get the value out of your purchase that you expect, and, you don't want to deal with them. You don't want to deal with these people because you think they work on commission, and,
yeah, they're not mattress salesmen.
And then, the customer thinks that the salespeople are just trying to screw them out of everything because, the customer oftentimes is, well, they're human. And humans have a tremendous capability to be superficial and shallow and misinterpret things according to their sentiments, their feelings, their perceptions and things like that. So they think that because they would like to, charge a certain price for something or make more money. They think that everybody's trying to do that, so they think that the salesperson is trying to screw them over. So they, and then, these customers might not know about the products, which is understandable. I mean, I remember so many times when I didn't know things, but you gotta have a certain standard of behavior and interaction and things like that. You gotta spend your free time doing something other than watching American Idol or The Voice or football, or not that there's anything wrong with those things, but when that's all you do, that's all you spend your free time on, it doesn't really get you anywhere. So it puts you into these situations where you don't know anything and you feel helpless and you throw a fit and you dig a hole for yourself and make things worse, and it was preventable to some extent. So anyway, you go in a store, a customer goes in a store, they don't want to listen to the sales staff that oftentimes knows what they're talking about because they're expected to. After all, society puts this expectation on retail and food service workers, to have everything together right. Customer doesn't want to listen to them. They don't know anything about the product, or at least maybe they feel like they don't know anything about the product, even if they might actually be able to figure out the product. They just feel like they don't. So they go for the only thing they know anything about, which is how much they're willing to pay, how much money they're willing to throw at the situation. And keep in mind, when it's something like tobacco, because there's the nicotine zombies that infest society, they seem to have unlimited amount of money for tobacco, for smoking or chewing or whatever. But whenever it's something that they say they need, like, buddy, I need my Wi-Fi so I can watch Netflix. Well, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Netflix. I use Netflix on occasion and it's just fine. But, they say that there's something they want to take seriously, but they really don't. They're like, they want to buy, that $70 residential gateway, the unit that does the modem and the Wi-Fi router both in there together. And then they get it home, it doesn't perform the way they expect, they get all mad, they have a bad experience. It's sad, and it's their own fault. I mean, when you got people out there that are trying to help you and you disregard them, that it's all on you, buddy. Somebody's got to take the responsibility, and you shouldn't be poking fingers at people that try to help you. Now, if, you go to a store and they don't have anybody there to help you, that's different. But, hey, you got a smartphone, don't you? Get it out. Look at some reviews maybe. Something like that. Always spend at least a little bit more money because you're not buying this router for today or for this week's usage. After all, don't you want to keep this? Don't you want to make use of your investment? Hang on. Get you something that performs good for the next 3 to 5 years? I mean, you never know. I mean, you don't want to get a Wi-Fi router that's just like right at your performance level that you actually need with your devices, because then you're going to get another smart TV, you're going to get another game system, another smartphone, whatever. You're going to get some security cameras. You're going to put that all in there, and the thing's just not going to perform. And so you threw away the money that you spent initially, and you're out of return policy on the product, and then you have to turn around and buy what you really actually need, so it's actually cheaper in the long run to go a little more expensive on something. I mean, an AC 1900 Wi-Fi router was probably going to be all right for what I need. I bought an AC 5400. I bought a big tri-band beast. Next I want to get me a mesh Wi-Fi, to try those things out. But anyway, Tommy, yeah, you caught me at a time when I was getting ready to close up shop and stuff. So I'll talk to you another day. It was great talking to you. Thanks for helping out with the video, and praise be child forever.
Yeah, no problem. I won't keep you any further. So thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Hi, thanks. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Now, on that note, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Megapet Productions. I know I don't have a practical URL. That's kind of a Google thing right now. Channels that have hundreds of thousands of views and thousands of subscribers. Some of them still have the trouble with that. I don't know if it's like a new format that YouTube is doing. But of course, you can find me on Facebook. So it's facebook.com/1computing.paradise. So the link's going to be in the description for this video. So thanks for watching, and tune in next time. My name's Christian Ogle. I'm the store manager here at the Computing Paradise here in Corydon, Indiana. This is Beak Child, the owner of Computing Paradise, and we enjoy your viewership. Thanks.